Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Valen, and this is Stoneblock 3, continuing where we left off last time. Yes, I'm still tinkering around. It's addictive stuff to do, but this time I'm just going to show you something I've already done because I just need a little bit more, and that's making a bit of an alloy. I've already melted some copper in here. I'm tossing in a piece of amethyst that I got, and it should make an alloy of, there we go, molten amethyst bronze. With this, I'm going to take a tool binding that I've got and use it to upgrade, or at least make a different part for my pick, because I've been upgrading my tools a little bit here and there, and that should do it. Yeah, that gives it crumbling too. This means that I've got crumbling speed. I can mine things like dirt and such with my pick faster. It shouldn't really change anything else short of it takes away the stonebound effect. And now I have a crumbling pick. So this is good. It means that I can actually mine things. And by the way, I made this little room so I could grow grass, like dirt, much quicker and easier. Also, I found out if you cook grass, you get flowers, which is useful for what I'm also about to do. And I did not expect the tuba, I have to say. I would shoot you, but I know what's going to happen. So let's just look at you. To get you over here. Come here. The sounds. Lovely. Alright, well then that's done and out of the way. I did not get the tuba. I think that might actually be for the best. And there's another one up there with another tuba. Oh my gosh. All the tubas. But if you notice here, I have a saved recipe. Yeah, REI will save an entire recipe. Kind of strange like this, but hey, you know, it seems like it'll work. And the reason I was mentioning the flowers is because, look, we need either blue orchids or cornflowers to get this luck ability, which I plan on putting on my sword. Yes, I made a Nahuatl sword. The rest of it is all bone and then added on diamonds and emeralds. But it gives it a bleeding effect on occasion when you swipe enemies, which can be quite useful when it doesn't do quite enough damage. But it actually does more than it looks. Right now it says 6.5, and that's plus 2.5 pierce damage. So it does about 9 damage. And I now have all those items, but you might notice there's only 3 slots in here. And if I go to repairs or any other tool in here, it only has 3 slots. That's because this is the basic tinker station. I need an anvil. And if you look up here, when I do a search for anvil below, you'll see that there's like this collapsed entry thing. It says Alt-click to expand all of these. So I can Alt-click, and then you can see all the different types of anvil. There we go. That should be the last of the kiln bricks that I'm going to need to make an alloy kiln, which should fit into a small space. In fact, this would be a really nice spot here. Now, previously I was talking about how a hammer from Immersive Engineering was going to be a problem. Well, I resolved that. Because once I grew grass, I put some bone meal down and found out that when you break grass, you get the seeds for industrial hemp. And then when I put these in some hopper botany pots, I'm able to get a bunch of hemp fiber, turn those into string. Taking those, I can then make an engineer's hammer, and this will allow me to convert this into an alloy kiln. Yay! And if I look up the recipe for brass, you can follow the route of create and go a little bit crazy with the mixer and heating things and stuff. But honestly, I think I'm going to take the cheaty method and just heat it in an alloy kiln with zinc and copper. Oh, hello. I was not expecting you while I was going through my inventories. What do you have to sell? Player heads, a few different items. Not too much, though. A lot of different player heads. Okay, well, I think I'm alright, though. Thank you very much. And with this, I should be able to make the 3 blocks of brass that I'm looking for. Putting this here, I think... Yep, I can just make a straight-up Tinker's Anvil. And I don't know if it completely replaces it. Like, it has the connectivity. It does. So I don't even need the Tinker Station anymore. I should have probably just crafted it in there. But this means that I can now upgrade my weapons and armor a bit further, and also make larger versions. You notice that there's like the excavator, the massive sword, and this vein mining tool, a hammer, and so on, which I do look forward to doing so. But I think first, let's just make this a little bit better. There we go. I now have luck on here, which gives me more nice things when mining or killing mobs. If I click on here, I can also see that there's a level 2 of this, which... yeah, that Requires a different level of recipe. I think I've actually got enough to do this one. Oh, and I just realized, player heads, they count as upgrades for tinker weapons. Oh, or abilities or something like that. I can't remember. But either way, that would have been useful. Maybe I should buy those next time that the Wandering Trader comes around. I should keep my no soliciting sign to myself for the time being. So let's collect some rewards and then move on to a little bit more progression. Compacting drawer, redstone upgrade, and an engineer's manual. Actually, that manual is going to be probably the most useful thing right now. Compacting drawer. I've got a couple of those. I could use this for some of my more standard stuff, like iron, perhaps. There's iron, and then I can also put in gold as well. Nice. Okay, well, that should keep that a little bit more organized. Back to quests. Let's go on over here and look at the crushing wheel. I have a feeling this is going to be a little bit more, interesting to make than normally. At least this probably is the same way. We're going to need to make a whole bunch of mechanical crafters. In fact, we're going to need 21 of these. Oof. So then we're going to need... Oh, a crafting table is part of the recipe. Brass casing and electron tubes. Oh, and brass casing is just brass clicked on stripped. That's on stripped wood. That's easy enough. Okay, and crafting tables, we've made plenty of those. That's just made from stone. Rather, cobblestone. Electron tubes, on the other hand. That is polished rose quartz and iron sheets. Rose quartz is sandpapered rose, or yeah, I'll need to sandpaper that, which means I'll need a recipe for that. And then we'll need a recipe for that. Okay, let's start at the beginning of all that and see how far I can get. It looks like this is going to be a quest chain in and of itself. I haven't started any kind of chicken breeding or anything, and that wasn't in there. I'm determined to actually finish the entire first chapter before I branch out into all the other things that have opened up. But I think this is what I'm going to have to do, is make one piece of soul sand so that I can then haunt regular sand into Mass's amount of more soul sand, which requires a mechanical mixer, some kind of sand, of course, mob souls, which I've got a bunch of, and water. So let's start with making some andesite alloy, because I'm going to need a whisk, which requires a little bit of that, plus some iron sheets. Not a problem. I now have the first part, and I should have the other ones already set up, so that's not a problem either, and I have a mechanical mixer. But that's not all I need for a mechanical mixer to work properly. I need a basin, which, it looks like I'm going to need a little bit more of that andesite alloy. So I've just made this little chain of a few cogwheels for now, so that I can have a mixer. Oh, that could be a problem, but in this case it won't be, because now I have a space that I can actually put something to block that water. It's a little bit compact, but it's like a triple station right now, and I kind of like it. Alright, and just because I pressed A while hovering over this area, it kept this one recipe, because there's lots of recipes on how to make soul sand, and I just wanted this one. So this is kind of convenient in that aspect. So I just need water, mob souls, and some kind of sand. Taking this, putting it in... No. Oh, shoot. That's not what I wanted. Taking this, putting it inside, so I've got a bit of that, bit of this, bit of that. It's going fast enough that it should work. If your setup isn't fast enough, it'll just sit there and do nothing. But there we go. I now have my one soul sand. That's actually all I need. Because now I can make a flint and steel, and I can set this up with this same setup here. But instead, all I do is bucket out the water, and I can start putting down a little something else instead. That should still work. Put down the soul sand, and then if I light this, we now have it actually haunting things that we put in place on that same basin. Let's start with a stack of sand and see how that goes. You can see it's got particles, so we know that it's working. And we have transformation. Now that we have those, I kind of need to put this out and then put the bucket of water back down, and then I can just put this back on top, and it should wash it into hopefully another outcome. There we have it. Looks like there's some quartz in there as well as some glowstone dust, but this is what I'm looking for. Plus I need to get rid of more of that stuff. Gosh, I regret spreading this around everywhere now. It just kind of gets everywhere. So I may have some slight regrets. I used most of my redstone that I had to upgrade the speed of my pickaxe. Yeah, So I'm a little bit shy on what I need. So I will have to do some more like mining and resource grabbing stuff. But let's see about making some of these things at least. And then I can do that stuff on my time and not yours. There we have some paper. Add some sand to that. We get sandpaper. And if I have that in one hand, before I just needed to do this. Yep. I now am making up the gems that I'll need for the recipe. Polished rose quartz to make electron tubes. Let me grab those iron sheets. Simple enough. And then I don't think I need to do much with the brass casing. Got a lot of brass over here. So now I just need a bunch of wood to be placed. Very satisfying, I have to say. All right, so now we just do a vein mine to grab it all, and we have plenty of brass casings and plenty more resources to continue with that as well. We make a bunch of crafting tables very simply, and I think I've got some materials that I can use to make mechanical crafters. I've got 9. I still need to get at least, what was it, 21? Yeah, 21 of those. So I'm partway there. I will need to get some more grinding done though, so I'll be back shortly. There we have it, 21 mechanical crafters. Oh my gosh, that was quite the ordeal to actually make that many. I did have to kind of modify this setup a few times just so that I could get the same thing. I think I'm going to have to, like, I don't know, expand this out a bit so that I don't have to keep on changing it over. Have multiple fans and expand the water wheels. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. But for now, I just need to have something that's going to work for now. So I'm going to try something a little bit different here. Let's try connecting here and then here. And yep, I thought so. It actually twists, or allows me to twist it, so that I can put this here. Because I'm pretty sure that the mechanical crafters have a... Yep, they have a connection on the side. And I realize that my contraption has currently stopped. That is also acceptable and something that I anticipated would happen, but not to worry. And I will need a wrench as well. I decided to move it up above instead of over here, if only because I just wanted to. Now I need to change the direction that these things all face. I would like it to end up in this chest. Actually, that might be a bad idea because I can't open the chest. Maybe I should get a barrel. There we go, that should work. Now I just need everything else to ensure that it all comes down and goes into this spot. There we go. Everything at least connects in some way and then ends up going down here into that barrel. Now I just need enough, well, power, which involves me making a whole bunch more water wheels and adding them to my setup for the time being. I think I finally got it. I added a bank of 9 and then I added another bank of 6 on top of that because it just still wasn't enough, but apparently there's a lot of stress in this network, I guess. I made a stressometer. It doesn't look that stressed to me. Maybe I just forgot something while I was assembling it. Either way, I've got a lot of power in the system at the moment, and things are looking pretty good. Now we should be able to make some of those wheels that I was talking about. Oh wait, no, I was mistaken. Let's see just how much stress this is giving. It just says overstressed. Alright, well, I guess I need to make some goggles. So there actually isn't as much capacity available as I had thought on here. These water wheels are not pulling their weight as good as I had hoped. Let's actually remove some of the existing stress sources from the system. Have another look. Apparently something still... Oh, there's a fan. Okay, well that still shouldn't... That's very minor in comparison. 4,800. Well, let's try connecting it. It's actually not that far off. Only 704 under at the moment. I think we might have done it, or at least enough for that to run. Let's see how much is there. Oh, we barely have any excess. Okay. And that's with 20 water wheels right now. I think I've got it running a little bit fast. I might have to have some kind of attachment to it to engage or not engage if I need it. For now, removing those 3 items, the press, the mixer, and the millstone seems to have fixed it, at least temporarily, long enough for me to make some crushing wheels. And I realize that I have this going at way too fast of a speed, and that's likely why this is such an issue. But let's give it a go and see how it goes. Oh wow, that's actually really darn fast. I now have 2 crushing wheels. Alright, well, done and done. I just need to work on reducing how fast that actually goes. And then it should run just fine. So by extending out this chain drive, this allows me to, a certain point, power both wheels, but the problem is they're both going in the same direction, and I need them to run in opposite directions. Alright, in this case I'm just going to use a gear shift and switch things up so it goes the opposite direction. That allows this to kind of make a crushing pair of wheels. Nice. Now just to make it easier on myself, I think I'm going to remove some of those things, or at least one of them, so that I can properly insert things like a chute. By placing this here, it should allow items dropped in to, well, get crushed. And it's easier to work around one wheel than it is 2, because with 2 of them, you're likely to get crushed as well. And then I just put this chest down here with another chute at the bottom. In fact, I could probably put one of these chests at the top, making it a little bit simpler for myself. Then when I add this in place, I should be able to crush things in here. Let's get some cobble and see what happens when I drop in a stack of that. It's working, and in fact, I should have my wrench somewhere around here. I can make this transparent, or at least with a little window so I can see the stuff dropping through. So when I drop the cobble in here, you can see it actually holding off there until like one set goes through, and then it finishes and there's space. Then it drops down here if there's any kind of output. So let's take something that actually will produce an output. I've got a stack of copper. I can put that in here, and it should start getting me some kind of stuff dropping down in the bottom here. You'll notice that sometimes it's copper, sometimes it's some weird glowing device. That's because it gives you nuggets of experience. You can use these just like a bottle enchanting or whatever it is. It's a way of storing XP for when you need it, and it just gives it to you in a physical form. It's really nice. Then of course I can just smelt this copper up, or I can wash it for a possibility of getting some extra clay as a byproduct. So by putting this here, it'll wash over time and give me that clay, like I said. Oh wow, okay, a little bit more than what can fit on there because it gave me copper nuggets. Yeah, that's a lot. Oh wow. Okay, I should have thought that one through. But it did give me 1 stack of copper ingots plus 34 clay balls, which is quite lovely because I've been needing the clay constantly for things dealing with tinkers. Oh boy, they're having an Enderman party over there. Either way, I get to claim the rewards now, and that's great. Plus, I crushed some gravel or some other items and got the reward for that. I also made soul sand in the process, and I have mob souls, so that one was already completed as well. The only things I'm missing at this point are making a higher tier cobble gin, and honestly, I'm not really bothered with those ones. I mean, I get like some random rewards, but I'm not really too bothered with it. So I think that actually concludes our getting started section for me, at least. Maybe in the future I will need to complete these and feel a little bit better about it. I might even do that at the beginning of next episode. Also, I've got that no solicitor sign, which is just a sign, an emerald, and flint. And I'm not really bothered with that right now because I want the Wanderer to come by. So again, I'm completed with the getting started section. And I think that we're going to move on to maybe some exploration. as well as many of the other mods in here. Oh, look at all this create stuff that I got. Oh, wow. For doing all this. And we'll jump into several of the other chapters next time. So if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, please be sure to, give a like, give a comment, maybe a sub, tell your friends. Come visit us on Twitch. We also have a second YouTube channel where all of our Twitch streams are currently stored and being uploaded. If you want to check it out, it's Mischief of Mice 2 and probably on the screen now. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. See you guys next time.